No matter how far we have come from God, no matter
Mm,
how far we are away from building the life that we want to build or reaching our goals or um, like whatever it is in life that you think you are far from getting to, understand that no matter how far it is, you can still cry on unto God.
yeah,
And he's basically the bridge between the beginning and the end. So
yeah,
Christ is in the midst of everything and he brings those together. So no matter how far you are, it's his praise that you need to be gunning for. And you'll
yeah.
sing his praise even as far as you just keep singing his praise and you will dwell in his house forever.
Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Manor House podcast. I am your host, Tino. Natalie's not here today, but I am holding down the fort. And we are joined by a very, very, very special guest. We are joined by Yomusa, and she's going to be talking to us about Psalm 61, which is a song by Essence Acapella. It recently came out, so I thought it would be perfect timing to talk about the song. Before we carry on, quick shout out to our sponsor, Stay Lit Apparel, with the Grace Upon Grace sweatshirt. Please, if you can, go and get yourself one. And you're going to look good during Christmas. But yeah, Yomsa, please give us an introduction.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Yomusa. I sing with Essence Acapella. We've been singing together for a while, become great friends, and we love ministry. I personally absolutely enjoy spreading the gospel through music. So yeah, I'm looking forward to to this this interview and just speaking about the process that I went through with the song. Yeah.
Amazing. So the song we're talking about is Psalm 61. I believe this is the first single by Essence Acapella.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. So tell us, I guess we want to know, and people want to know, what was the process of just the idea behind the song in itself?
Mhm. So when I first started, like arranging the song, it wasn't like it had just come to me. So someone like in a group that I used to sing with many years ago was like, "Oh, guys, this sounds like a really good psalm to make a song out of." So they just posted like a message, and I was like, "Oh yeah, probably it does. I'll just take a look at it." So I took a look at this at the verses, and like with time, it took some time to get to a point where I'm actually arranging a song. Um, so with time, I got to like understand the words and understand the meaning of the psalm, and I built like a picture of what it would sort of sound like. Um, so like, and then like at the end of it, then I came up with something that I was like, oh yeah, okay, I actually like this now. So yeah.
So, yeah, so I think one of the questions I always have is what was happening in your life around the time that you wrote that song and that psalm like
Mm.
spoke to you.
You know, I was thinking about this the other day, right? Because I was like, when I started writing or arranging the song, because I don't know, David wrote it or someone, not me. But when I was arranging it, and reading through the psalm, I don't think there was anything in particular that was happening in my life that called for that necessarily. I do remember there was like a song I remember from back in the day. Um, why don't you lead me to the rock that is higher
Yeah,
than I? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
So,
for me, it was the excitement of like, oh, I actually finally found where they got it from because I didn't know where they got it from.
yeah,
So I was kind of just like excited about like, okay, I found this thing. And I think one of my friends was also like a really big fan of that psalm. So it was just like finding at in the beginning it was just like, oh, I'm finding different things that relate to other people, but not necessarily to me. But as I grew with this song, because I sat with this song for a couple of years before sharing it with Essence, I then began to experience things in my life that were like, okay, that now makes sense. Like at this point is when I actually am needing this song and it's making sense to me now. Um, so it was a process. It's not something that happened um like quickly or immediately, or was like, oh, like there's a situation, let me write a song.
Yeah,
No. It was just like, oh, I finally found that song, that psalm where they made that song from. Now I get it. But then I think I understood the song as well as my arrangement of the song. It began to make sense much later.
yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that, but it's given me two questions. The
Okay.
first being around musical influences,
Yeah.
because you mentioned that like that song that you had sung before and you knew about before,
Yeah.
almost was like you got excitement because you're like, oh, I finally know the source of that,
Yeah.
um, of where this psalm or where the song is referencing.
Hmm.
What have been the other musical influences to this song in particular, and just to you and
Mm.
your musical style?
Mm. Okay. Um, I think around that time I was listening to quite a lot of different types of music. Um, obviously, like I there was the background of like the Zim chorale music, which is where that song "Lead Me to the Rock" was like where I know it from. So that I guess as a starting off point, it's starting off from there, and then obviously there's No Limits because we used to sing quite a lot of their songs growing up, listen to them a lot, and we absolutely loved their style of music. So there's that as well. Um, but I think my main influences for that song were more chorale and choir related rather than a cappella, especially with the ah, I was really thinking of like, oh, this would be wonderful as like a choir. And um when I was singing that, I thought to myself, wow, this with angel voices would be so incredible. Like when we eventually get to heaven and we sing his praise, or even while we're here, we're singing his praise, and the angels may be singing with us, but we don't know that they sing with us. We can't
Yeah,
actually hear them. So I was
yeah.
thinking, oh, how would that sound? Like, how would that actually sound? So it was that kind of a, like choir sound. I think I was also listening to Bobby McFerrin at that time, and he
Mm,
had some very interesting things that he was doing with the choirs. Like he'd have an audience and he would make them
yes,
into a choir. So I'd
yeah.
be like, oh my goodness, the layering of sounds and how he thinks about the notes that they have. I'm not a technical person when it comes to music, but it's just the way that he would do that was so amazing to me. So I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can duplicate that, but it can be an influence
You were
somehow.
aiming for something that had all of that stuff in.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a trial, I guess. I was just trying something that I had not done before, and I just thought, okay, maybe we'll see how it goes with that.
Does this mean that in another reality, this song could have been a Leeds Youth Choir song?
It could have been. It could have been.
One day, I'll keep making the petition. My,
Well, they can come and redo the the R's. Yeah, if we get
yes,
the Leeds Youth Choir and we redo that, I was saying to the other guys that maybe it's something to think about, like just to have a choir, but I love the song as it is anyway.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful song, but I definitely hear what you mean in that particular section, that it would sound amazing with like choir, like chorale
Yeah,
style behind
yeah,
it. That's really, really cool. But that's actually a really good segue, because you mentioned speaking to the other group members. What's
yeah,
that process like of you've written the song and
yeah.
like you really like it and it means something to you and it speaks to maybe some of the stuff happening in your life, and that, and then you have to bring it to a whole different group of people and try and
Yeah.
explain. What is that like when you're writing but you're part of a group?
Yeah, like it's like letting go of something precious. It's like, oh, I've got to give it away. Um, like I said, I'm not technical when it comes to music. So I spoke to Tabani and I said, Tabani, I've got this song that I've been working on. Like I said, it had been years. I think I started working on this song probably it might be 10 years now
Wow.
because it's 2025 now, so maybe 2015. Yeah, so it might be 10 years. So it was something that I sat with for a very long time, and then now giving it was just like, "Ugh," but I have to. So
Yeah.
I said to Tabani, there's this song that I've been working on that I've sat on for years, and I would always keep refreshing it because I just wanted to make sure that it was good enough to present. Um, And so then Tabani did the technical side of things, figuring out which like who's gonna sing what part um and how to bring the song together for everybody so that it works. And like he knows stuff that I don't know, that I would never understand. So I was like, okay, I just have to trust him to do his part. But everybody was extremely receptive and very excited actually
Oh, that's
to do this
amazing.
song. Yeah, I think it was time. And I think sometimes with a song, when you're presenting it to people, um it could have been a Leeds Youth Choir song, but it wasn't, for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
think like um there are specific people who will take your vision and make it real, you know, and bring it to life. And I think Essence was the perfect place for that, to take this idea that I had and then bring it to life. Because everybody kind of knows different things and they know they're really good with the stuff that they know. So I could trust them with that, and they delivered.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. I think it's so interesting. Even just like being an outsider and watching the way kind of you lean on each other's strengths,
Mm,
to kind of just bring out the best in each other with the songs and the performances. So yeah, I think that's
yeah.
really, really cool. So I guess the question now regarding the song, now that the song is out, is is there like a key message in the song that you'd want like someone to be like, this is the key essence of the song, excuse the
Mm.
pun, that you, if you're listening to the song, this is like the key message that you should get from it.
So the song begins, well, it doesn't begin exactly in those words, but in the song, it's from the ends of the earth I will cry unto thee. And at the end of it, it's I will sing thy praise forever. So the main thing, I guess, for me is to understand that no matter how far we have come from God, no matter how far we are away from building the life that we want to build, or reaching our goals, or um, like whatever it is in life that you think you are far from getting to, understand that no matter how far it is, you can still cry out unto God. And he's basically the bridge between the beginning and the end. So Christ is in the midst of everything, and he brings those together. So no matter how far you are, it's his praise that you need to be gunning for. and you'll sing his praise even as far as you just keep singing his praise, and you will dwell in his house forever. You know, that's I think that's the main thing for me. And I think that's what I have learned through my experience with the song, with what I have been experiencing in life. It's just like, no matter what is happening, it can seem like, okay, like my life is over right now. Like I can't do anything anymore. Like things are just terrible. Um, but what it must lead me to at the end of the day is to sing his praise. And whether I feel it in that moment or I don't feel it in that moment, I still must sing his praise, and then it'll get me to the end. Instead of just trying to get to the end, but singing his praise all the way through up until the end. I think that is my main message, I think, for the song that I'd like people to go away with. Yeah.
I really like that, and I think I love the idea of it. There always has to be the communication with God, and I think
Mm.
it's either going to be you're crying or you're praising, but
Yeah.
important thing is you're maintaining that
The
communication, and
communication. Yeah.
he will take you to that praise.
Yeah.
Sometimes he will take you where you need to cry, but he's
Mm-hmm.
he's bridging all of that gap, and I
Yeah.
think yeah, it's really it's a really
Yeah.
good reminder to be like, yes, when you're when your heart's overwhelmed, all of this stuff, still you need to cry
Mm-hmm.
because it will
Yeah.
end up with you being in a kind of position where you can praise.
Yeah. And I think like crying is something that God invites us to do, you know, when things are tough. Go on and cry. You cry, you don't stay crying, because at the end of it you must praise, but go and cry, and then allow the praise to then come in. I noticed that in a lot of the the psalms are that David wrote throughout the book, he will like cry, 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 and get upset, and like, all these emotions, and then at the end of it's like, but I give glory to God anyway, everything is fine. you know like, I think he gives us that um permission. We don't necessarily need it, but he gives us that permission to cry and tell God, and actually be upset and angry with the stuff that's going on in your life. Show the emotion, accept that the feelings are there, but you don't stay in them. You get up and you move. And even whilst you're crying, you can be crying, but on your way to praising. You know what I mean? Like, it just, there's like, we're moving, we're living life, and life must still, move forward, as long as you don't forget that Christ is in the midst of everything. And he's the one that's going to lead us to the final point where we are in his house and we are praising him forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good message. Definitely want to keep holding on to and to keep carrying forward. Um, so as we reach the end, I've got a couple of questions
Okay.
regarding I guess next steps for the song. So is any place where you guys are performing the song or any new songs that are coming out that are linked to this one in any way?
Hmm. Well, um, well, we will be singing. I'm not sure whether we'll be performing the song yet. Uh, yeah, but we will be singing around the UK. I think we are actually singing in Oxford, Cambridge. I don't remember, but this this Sabbath. It's because I'm not the one driving. I think that's why. Because it's like a 3 hour drive, and I was like, I'm checking out, guys. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
just a
gonna do
that's what
that. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we will be singing this weekend, and then as we were talking about, like, doing a maybe like the the choir version maybe of the song. Maybe that's something that could be in the pipeline, as well, that we would do. And I'm sure we will be back in studio very soon.
yeah. Psalms 61 was the first song recorded in the studio, actually.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
yeah, it's been amazing kind of just seeing that full circle moment of
Yes.
and actually yeah, like we took a leap of faith having this space and to actually now have like a song that was recorded here out into the world.
Yeah.
For us it's also like yeah, we were in that like season of crying when I was unemployed and now we're
Oh,
in
I
the
get
praise
it.
season. So
Yeah. Oh my days, I get it. And thank you so much. Like I think um the amount of faith that you had in doing what you knew you were supposed to do, but it's not as easy to get into a space where like, okay, this is what I want to do. I've got to do it, but how do I do it? Am I actually in, like, can I even afford to do this thing that I want to do? But when God has
yeah.
placed something in your heart that is meant to be done, He will always provide for that. So thank you for taking that leap of faith and also having faith in us.
Oh, of course, you guys are my favorites. Um, where can people find you and your music?
Music is on Spotify, Essence Acapella, as well as on YouTube, Essence Acapella. That's where you find us. You find me on Instagram, Yomusa Glorious or Umusa's mom.
Yep.
And on Facebook as well. Yeah, I don't sing on there. I try not to do too much singing.
You should definitely do more singing.
I will actually. I will. I think my daughter's been telling me I need to practice.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, she's been calling me out because I think when I was practicing at home and trying to get my notes right, I just wasn't hitting the right ones. She's like,
Yeah.
you
You've
need
got
to
you've got a
practice.
you've got a harsh critic at home.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I do, I do.
I I love
Yeah, the
that.
standard
When
is
when
high.
oh yeah, when you guys were last time, she was like out back making her own song. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and then the last question that we always ask is which artist should we have next? Um, and like what particular song should we talk to them
Oh,
about?
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We're trying to have like a wish list of people who we can reach out to and talk to. So, but I always like it if the recommendation comes from someone I've interviewed as well.
Okay. Do you know, I don't know which particular song, but Nigel, yeah, if he hasn't done it already.
Nigel hasn't done it yet, but I've told him about it and he's
Yeah,
promised. And now Nigel, in
yeah.
front of people, you have to come.
You have to come, Nigel. Yeah. I'm so excited to hear what Nigel has to say because
Yeah.
I like the way that he arranges music. I didn't know that he did it, but then like they explained a couple of things when they had their concert at one point about how they put the music together. I want to hear how a person who sings bass actually where do you start from? Because I'm a soprano, so I was like, let me pick somebody who
Yeah.
sings bass to find out like what's your starting point? Do you start with the beat or do you start with the words? Because I start with the words and then the melody or the melody. But yeah, I'm just curious, where do people who sing bass start from?
We'll reach out to Nigel and that'll be the first question we ask him.
Yeah.
But Yomusa, thank you so much for taking time out to talk to us. For everyone else, please go listen to Psalm 61 by Essence Acapella. I will put all the links so that you can go and listen to it further down. But yeah, you can follow the links. And yeah, we'll share the links to everyone's socials as well. But yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.